Hi everyone, welcome to this video. So in this video, I just wanted to do a little bit of a follow-up of a topic that we talked about in one of my previous videos. I just linked it somewhere around here. And in this video, we talked about how do you find work as a composer. So basically we talked about how to find work in the trailer music, licensed music business, but also in the video game business. And I received many comments from you guys, so thank you so much for this. And actually, I just wanted to talk about 3 comments here that I've received on this video that kind of like underline the importance of really think about how you send your music to companies, clients, producers. However, before we get into this, I just wanted to let you know that I have a Discord server. You can find the link in the video description below. And I also created a Facebook group. You find that link also down in the video description, where we talk about all these things, where you can ask questions and so on. I would be really happy to see you over there. And now let's go. So let me just switch over here and talk about the first comment that I've received here by Nick Epic. Thank you so much, Nick, for this comment. So let's quickly read through this here and let's talk a little bit about this. So I know one lady that works at a big trailer publishing company. She said that they receive hundreds of emails from composers every single day, and that 99% of these submissions don't sound as good as people think. So instead of working on their skills to sound as good as possible, composers go out and send a bunch of emails to hundreds of companies, and they hope for the big break. And like you said, Alex, not every company needs music non-stop, so your chances are reduced. It's better to produce one unbelievable professionally sounding track per year that will be accepted by a company and that will be placed than it is to produce 2 albums with mediocre tracks. Some people can produce more amazing tracks than others, but that's okay. It doesn't mean that you suck, so never put yourself down. So let's talk a little bit about this first comment here. So first of all, I fully agree, and let's bring this down to some core message. Whenever you guys send out music to companies, never compose music for the sake of sending it out as quick as possible. This is a little bit like going to a business party and you don't prepare yourself good enough. You don't educate yourself about who will be at this party. You don't dress properly, or don't even, pay attention to if there is a dress code. You just don't even put your business cards with you. You just rush in there, open the door, and it's like not even shaking people's hand or look at them and just saying like, hey, check out my new music, check out my music. Yeah, my music, check out my music. And you eventually hand out everyone a CD and then you just rush out. Do you really think that somebody would want to work with a person who's doing this? So at the end of the day, just sit down and put blood, sweat, and tears, everything into writing really awesome music. If you end up with having 20 or 30 tracks, just maybe pick the best 5 tracks and send these out. Make a big impression, make a better impression than just sending out continuously music that nobody wants to hear. And I'm pretty sure that you will get your first gig very soon. Okay, so let's talk about the next comment here by Crypto Police. I really like your name, by the way. I remember my early days asking other composers how to find work. And then I went to forums dedicated to video producers and game developers. And funny enough, they are doing the same stupid thing, asking for composers on a video or a game forum. So anyway, that's how I found more work than I was able to handle and started to create a network with talented people I enjoyed working with most. Okay, so I'm not really sure if I talked about this in my previous video, but this is something that I've experienced too, that you visit some kind of a composers forum, doesn't mean if it's on their own website or on Facebook, and composers ask for gigs in a composers forum. And then what Crypto Police basically is describing, that he goes to a game developer forum or forum of video producers, and then video producers ask on this forum, for example, to find composers. So this is kind of like to think about this for a second, that this doesn't make sense, because especially when it comes to composers, why should a composer ask on a composer's forum to find work? So if you are already up to hunt down the web for all these places, for all these forums, make sure that you visit these appropriate places, like, a forum of young video producers, movie producers, of game developers, maybe hobby game developers, and try to get work over there so people can start knowing you and you are then on the right place. But don't make this mistake and ask on the same forum. I know it sounds kind of obvious. It sounds kind of like, why did you talk about this? But this happens. So I just want you to understand that this is very important where you start looking at. Okay, so the last comment is by Derek Liu. I hope I pronounced your name right. And just in case if you don't know Derek, let's just take a look at his website. He's a video game trailer editor. So he just worked for all of these projects here. Probably, lots of these projects here. Also seen Mortal Kombat and lots of other stuff. So make sure to check out his channel and let's see what he has to say. This is great advice. Thank you so much. As a trailer editor, I receive a lot of connection requests from composers and music libraries on my LinkedIn, and the vast majority of them don't even send a message. And even the ones who do send messages, I have no idea how to differentiate them, since the music tends to sound very similar and I don't have time to do a bunch of music sampling. I mostly work on indie game trailers, which means I'm just working with a game composer anyway, but what would help me is if composers or libraries who approach me mention a style or something that they are particularly suited to or interested in making. Sort of like how I would rather go to an exclusive Chinese restaurant rather than one which serves Chinese, Japanese, Thai, Vietnamese, and Korean food. It's not often I go music searching, but I would certainly remember if someone messaged me saying, hey, I make trailer music and I especially love making lighthearted, whimsical fantasy music. Even if that's not all you do, I would at least mark that in my notes for the future. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about this one and let's get to the first point right away. And the vast majority of them don't even send a message. Again, and the vast majority of them, of these composers, don't even send a message. I mean, seriously, how rude is that? Do you really think that someone wants to work with you when you just throw them a YouTube or a SoundCloud link without even saying hi? This is an absolute no-go. So now you cold reached out to people and then you meet someone like Derek who is open-minded to making new connections. And then you have to help these people. You have to make them meeting you as comfortable as possible. So just deliver your best work. If you are very versatile, if you are able to compose in all kinds of styles, just maybe pick your one or two best styles and present these. I mean, even if you are able to create lots of styles, if you are very versatile in what you do, this is probably something that is better to save up after you have worked with someone. So for example, you worked with Derek and he said, that action fantasy music you have written sounded absolutely awesome. Are you also able to create some minimalistic, futuristic, synth-based music? And then you can say, yeah, of course, let me just give that a try and send you something. And boom, there you got your next gig. So I'm really curious right now, do you also got some stories to tell? Do you got some questions? Do you want to comment on something that you have experienced? Are you also working in the industry? Are you a trailer editor? Are you a trailer cutter? Or somebody who is working in video games, trailer, licensed music in general, just leave a comment below. I would be really happy about this. I would also be really happy if you like this video and subscribe to my channel. And for now, I'm saying thank you for watching and see you on my next video.